two that I remember vividly. I directed a show called The Contest for Air and Gold, a story originally by Philip Roth. And it was about a little boy played by Barry Gordon, then, who later became the president of Screen Actors Guild, but then he was 11. And his camp counselor, Sidney Pollack, played. It was, I think, maybe the first thing he ever did out here. And this little boy was doing a little statue in clay, and he never seemed to finish it. And this camp counselor who worked with him on the ceramics was always trying to get him to finish it. And he never finished it, particularly the arms. And it was that kind of story of the relationship between the camp counselor and this boy. And Hitch added an ending that as the counselor is working with him, trying to get him to finish this, the door of this cottage opens and the boy's father comes in, and he has one arm. The boy could never put the arm on that statue. So that was one thing he added. The other was we did a show called Maria, written by John Wyndham and the screenplay by John Collier, who I think is one of the finest short story writers we've had. And in this, it was called Maria, and it was about a 10th-rate mind reader in a carnival who's getting nowhere, and he's sitting in a bar getting drunk, and he meets a guy who owns a chimp that also was in a carnival. And they trade acts. So now this guy's got this chimp, and he brings the chimp back to this carnival, and the chimp can do tricks and can paint and all that kind of thing. And the chimp sort of forms a great affection for him. Hitch suggested that it's actually what we now call a small person inside a skin who does fall in love with the mind reader. I played the mind reader in this case. Hitch was never too happy about my leaving the desk. He loved my directing, but going into act, he said one day, thespian. But the whole point was he wanted me at the desk working on these scripts and casting and so forth. But in this case, we put into this skin, we found a small person who was a striptease artist at the then existing Main Street Follies burlesque house downtown. And her name was Venus de Mars. And she played inside the skin. And he added that whole idea. That's a whole other story. But that was his idea. And it worked very well. She used to say, all 2 feet of her, I guess, would say to me, "You are my lover." But there were wonderful adventures in that regard with the real chimp and her, but that's a whole other story.